Cam from JFM Exotics here, and today I will be doing a video talking about the feeder insects that I'm currently using with my leopard gecko. In this video as well, I will be giving you a quick little almost teaser at the end of this video as to the next addition to my collection. However, now we'll get straight into what I am feeding citrus and how I'm keeping them and just how I'm offering them. So far, while I've had citrus, I have used 3 feeder insects. I've used brown silent crickets that you can see here. I've used mealworms, as you can see there. And I have also used dubia roaches, but I don't have those because I only bought a small, I think it was 20 pack, which I used over the course of about 3 days. So I don't actually have those anymore. And so today I will just be talking about the pros and cons that I've seen so far with these feeder insects, and if you should get them and if you should be using them. So we'll start off with mealworms. Okay, so this is how I am keeping my mealworms. Most people do refrigerate their mealworms as it prevents them from turning into their pupae stage, which looks like this. And it's basically their process for turning into a beetle, and they're probably not the best to feed to your leopard gecko in terms of nutrition and all that, so that's why people refrigerate them. Now, I don't actually have an adequate space to refrigerate mine at the moment, so that's why I'm just keeping them out. Their full cycle, going from mealworms to beetles, is about 30 days, well 2 weeks to 3 weeks, so it doesn't really matter for the amount I have, but mealworms were the first live food I bought for her, and that is purely because just how easy they are to offer and feed. All I have to do of an evening is just pick up 10 to 12 of these, put them in a bag, put them in the bowl once I've had calcium or multivitamin on them, and she will just come to the bowl and eat them. Another good positive about mealworms is that they are super easy to keep. All you have to do is maybe some oats, bedding. This is something they can eat and can burrow in. I got a huge bag from Aldi for 39p, and then I just got bits of carrots for hydration and also a food source, and then they're set to go. These are also extremely cheap from any reptile shop or Swell Reptiles. Link will be down in the description if you want to have a look. And I think I got 60 grams of mealworms for £1.49. Now 60 grams of mealworms, if they all stayed as a mealworm, would last her about 3 weeks. So £1.49 to feed her for 3 weeks is not a bad price at all. So that is why I have mealworms, and will continue to use mealworms. A lot of people say they're not very nutritious, but then again, a lot of people say they are. So there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with them. They're filling her up, they're feeding her, so they're all good. Next we'll move on to brown silent crickets. Okay, so these are the crickets that I've been using. These are brown silent crickets. You can get feeder crickets in many different types. You've got black, field, brown silent. All I think work pretty well, but obviously clues in the name as to why they're so popular is because they're silent, whereas your black crickets will chirp all the time. You do occasionally get the small chirp from them, as they do still possess the wings that cross over, but they just don't do it very much, or when they do, you can't hear it. Now, I'm currently keeping my crickets in this small critter keeper. I've probably got a few too many in there, because when I ordered them, I ordered a bit too many. And I've been using them, and they are absolutely fantastic for what I wanted them for. Now, obviously with mealworms, you just put them in a bowl and she just comes over. But that doesn't allow her to express her natural behaviours. So I always like to put those in so she has something to chase, something to hunt, and they work very well with that. These are also extremely easy to keep. I just drop in about 3 pieces of carrot every 2 or 3 days, which is gone by the time I go to put it back up. And then I just have, obviously it comes with this little tube, which is where they hide from. And then you pull that out and like tap it, and some fall out into the bag, and that is basically their little cage. It is extremely simple to keep, and once again they're supposed to be more nutritious than mealworms, but to me, as long as they're filling her up, you don't really notice a difference with that kind of stuff. And these are also fairly cheap. I think a 100 pack of these was £2.85. So, and these are medium brown crickets. So yeah, once again, they're really good, but it's more of like a stimulus for her to chase to eat. So that's another positive. And last, I will just talk about the dubia roaches that I had. I did have some dubia roaches that, well, once again, I just let them run around the enclosure, and they were very, very stimulating. She got to chase them, and they are supposed to be the like most nutritional food you can offer, which I don't doubt isn't true, but for me, I don't really notice a difference. I mean, I know I've only had her 3 weeks, but I don't think I'll ever see a difference feeding dubia roaches over crickets in terms of health. So I think I'll just carry on the way I'm doing it. Another problem with dubia roaches is that they are awfully expensive. The ones I bought for this was only about 20 of them. I think it was £3.95, which fed her for about 2 days, to be honest. So £3.95 over every 2 days is quite a lot of money to spend unless you're breeding your own. So that's why I would advise against them. But they are a good food source. They are the best in terms of like nutrition to have and offer. But I'm just going to stick to my mealworms and my crickets. Now, what I wanted to talk to you about, like I said at the start, was just the next addition to my collection. Now, today I have agreed to pick up an 18-month-old Amylode Panther Chameleon with full setup, and so should be getting him within the next week. I am so excited. Panther Chameleons is definitely a species I've been looking at for a while, and I can't wait to get him, to be honest. So that should be fun, and that will also give me another purpose for the crickets, for him to chase and eat. So that is just going to be absolutely ridiculous. I can't wait to do that. And thank you all guys for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please leave a like and subscribe, and it's been JFC Exotics.